this is Dan,
Bob,
and Eric
from GigaBoots.com. And good job on remembering your names, everyone. We really knocked it out of the park this week.
Yes, setting the bar super low.
Yeah, Monster Hunter 4 Quick Play really sets the standard, I think, for GigaBoots intro segments.
Sometimes we just don't know our names.
Welcome to GigaBoots Podcast number 58. We're still not on iTunes.
Yep. Is that the new title?
Oh, what was the other one you were gonna?
A splendid bargain.
A splendid bargain. I don't know. I would like to name this week we're still not on iTunes, and then maybe next week or the week after we get to name it we're on iTunes.
Okay, that'd be lovely.
That would be lovely.
which is always a splendid bargain.
No, it isn't.
I mean, really, we're bringing them a splendid bargain. We're giving them entertainment for the very, very low price of free.
Of nothing.
Of fucking nothing.
Yeah. So, in any case, welcome to this episode. We're going to talk about what we've been playing lately and then cover a bit of news. I'm actually really happy we could do this podcast, in time this week because, last week and the week before we had various scheduling issues. And this week, I woke up and the world was spinning and I was vomiting. And so
I want to get off the ride. Can someone stop the world, please?
Can someone stop God?
Someone stop that
It's
madman.
gone to his head. But yeah, no. So I'm really, really glad I got to be here and do this.
So really what you're saying is you were really feeling it.
I was really feeling it.
Okay.
I was really feeling it. So I guess I'll start off talking about what I've been playing last week. So
Sure.
I hung out with a coworker, played Smash Bros with him because he's like, I play Smash Bros. I played Melee a lot, and I played the new one on the 3DS a lot. And I also own it on Wii U, but I didn't play it on there. I'm like, that's cool. Let's play Smash Bros. And he has like 4 pristine amiibos he's never leveled that he just uses as decorations around the house. His wife.
Well, they are very pretty.
His wife does. So we scanned them all in.
Oh, God.
And him and me. And I just wiped the shit out of the whole board.
Did you start with Shulk? Oh my god. Oh my god, you monster.
I didn't only play Shulk, though.
But you led with the Shulk.
There were a lot of
shitlord.
amiibos.
You shitty shitlord.
You just want to let him think for a moment, oh, maybe I'm okay at this game.
Listen here, you fuckpiss. He gets to bitch at me about this. You don't. I boot up Dead or Alive 5 with this asshole yesterday, and he's like, I'm playing as a boss character as a fucking female Tengu who shoots tornadoes. LOL. Hope you enjoyed it. Not having played this in the last 2 years.
Why are you both such shitlords?
He had it coming. He then played as Kasumi endlessly.
Haven't you like...
Well, that's because she's the only character I know.
What? Did you do a weekly beating for it?
No,
I think
we haven't.
Not
you
yet.
should, so
We're
you can
gonna.
completely destroy him. I feel like that's
Once
a
I
long
switched
time
to
coming.
Kasumi and he started getting more tired, I started winning consistently, so...
So you're only gonna do it like, hey Bob, how tired are you? I'm falling asleep. Oh, great, let's do a recording.
And the preamble to me winning is me going, I don't like this game. Because winning means you're reversing everything, and that's just like... Because like in Street Fighter 3, right? Somebody throws a punch at you and you parry it, right? So it freezes for 1 frame, and then their punch continues. So you gotta keep, like, depending on the type of hit, if it has multiple hits, you have to parry multiple times, and it could look cool, and their attack's still going. Dead or Alive just makes you fucking feel bad. It's a real cock blocker. You throw a punch, they grab it, and they go, no, and they just toss you. It's a really bad feeling, because you're like, I just wanted to hit you.
Please, why is that so much to ask?
Apparently.
At least with this one, unlike 4, there's a lot of variation to like
To parry.
different attacks need to be parried in different ways.
Yeah, so that does help.
That's why he wins Kasumi. I can't tell where attacks are hitting because
I'm
weirdo flips.
mixing it up and
Right.
doing like weird, like arching backwards, kicking low, and flipping
I
backwards.
have no
over my
idea.
head.
I still have no idea what those flip kicks like. What kind of an attack that is?
Meanwhile, his problems with this character does weird moves I can't predict. My problem is this character does weird moves I can't predict because I do a kick, it goes through his head, doesn't hit him. I do punches, goes through his head. I'm losing my shit, and he's just like,
Well,
what? It's another day in Dead or Alive. I'm crouching.
A lot of times you were freaking out. It was like that was a get up animation. Like all fighting
No,
games have get up
some of them
animations.
were that. Not all of them. I connected through your head multiple times, and you're just like, I'm crouching.
I'm crouching. I am untouchable.
Like leg just clipping through head shaking, and you're like, what? What's the problem?
Can you not see my infinite crouch position attack?
So what I'm saying is we should bring it back with Virtua Fighter 5, because that's a real man's fighter that does involve giant tits that move when you shake the controller, which is a thing that happens.
Yep.
In this features.
The
Did that
classiest.
happen in the original release of 5?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. It happened in Ninja Gaiden something.
Yeah, the thing was the Ninja Gaiden Sigma games
On the PS3, the
Yeah.
first one, yeah.
most of them probably.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
they kept bringing it back because they're like, I guess that's what people want.
That's why they bought this, right?
How shitty did you make your friend feel? Your coworker.
I think it got 2 matches in where there was a gigantic spread between. Okay, so him and all the amiibos got like either 0 to 2 kills, and I got 8 and 9 and shit. And he's just like, I don't think I'm good at this game, is what he said after 2 matches. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I have a problem. You're fine. Normal people would play you, and you would be okay. I didn't use only Shulk. I just did it for the first time.
Then I mixed it up and played as Ganondorf.
No. But I did want to tell him about how we call it Ganondorfing. Because I Ganondorfed him that first round because I'm 8 kills and he's 0. And I'm like, well, I'm Ganondorf, clearly. Which is what we do. We call the person who has a huge kill divide of just like, oh, way better than that. Yeah, he's Ganondorf.
Because Ganondorf sets a precedent of murder.
He may not win, but he still has like 9 kills. And the other people have 2. And they're like, man, it was really cool of Ganondorf to let us kill a couple people. Fucking Ganondorf. So, what else did I play? The new Resogun
The new
DLC.
DLC, yeah. Defenders.
Really good. That second DLC is way better than the first. I was not the hugest fan of the first, not the least of which because they had that patch that broke the game.
Right.
So not only did they fix that patch with the recent patch, but the DLC added these 2 new, really, really cool, very different modes. One of which involves you being a commando and using the right analog stick to shoot.
You mean you are a human on the ground instead of a ship?
Yes. And the other one is, man, have you watched these online? Okay. Did you see the Super Boost, Bob?
Yes, I got
That
the
was
Super Boost.
Fucking incredible. There's this power
Isn't that
up
a Rob Zombie song?
No.
Okay. I'm a Super Boost.
Hey, yeah. I'm the one that you wanted.
Yep.
There's a power-up made exclusively for this mode called Super Boost. When you get it, your boost bar just starts flashing like purple and weird colors. And you activate it, and you just stop. And then everything starts flying at insanely high speeds as you spray plasma out of the back of you, hurtling through space at absolutely nuts velocities.
It seems like it doesn't
Obliterating
stop.
everything. It's actually based on how many people you kill.
Okay.
See, when you normal boost, you get some of your boost energy back by killing enemies. So with Super Boost, you can kill enough people where it just refills the gauge and it makes a sound and you start from the top of the gauge again. And you can just keep going around killing everything.
Some sort of murder coil.
Yes, it's incredible. Yeah, that DLC is really fucking good. We plan on doing a quick play or some video of some sort sometime very soon. I don't know if I've been playing anything else. I guess we played The Order. Hey, Bob.
1886.
I watched.
We played The Order.
1886.
That's what we played, right? The Order?
1886.
Yeah. And that's on the PlayStation, right?
1886.
I don't think it's that many PlayStations. I think it was 4. But
I'm pretty sure they're at the 1886 PlayStations.
Sure. Okay, so The Order, Bob.
Uh-huh.
That game's stupid pretty.
It is. That is absurdly nice looking.
I am a fucking nitpicker for this shit, guys, and you can take my word. This is the most impressive game visually ever. PC Master Race, be fucked. Because all you guys have is Rise, and that still runs not so great and doesn't look as good as this. This game's insanely pretty. I mean, one of the core features of the game is to pick shit up off of things and turn it around in your hand.
Just look at it. Just look.
Looking.
The game is basically yelling you, look at this shit. Look at it.
Is that not incredible?
It's just a piece of paper. And you're like, immediately, Dan's like, that watermark's incredible.
Yeah, because
This is a piece of paper.
fucking Bob picked up a piece of medical paper where it just had the 2-sided like lines and shit on each side of it, and I was like, that is the best looking. Paper doesn't look that real in live action movies a lot of the time. because they color grade it weird. What the fuck? Yeah, that thing's nuts. And oddly enough, something I totally didn't expect, and Bob seemed impressed by too, it really doesn't hitch that often. Like, it doesn't drop frames very often.
Yeah, it seems
a stable
smooth.
30.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because we're kind of used to, like, Killzone 2 was a fucking mess at points, and most games that push the bar anywhere near as hard as this.
Right, and a lot of games that don't.
Drop frames like crazy.
Right, like
this
even
is a
like
really...
Shadow of Mordor. I was like,
Yeah.
that's not a good-looking game by any means, but
Yeah.
it doesn't hold that sturdy.
So the tragic news with this game is that it's 5 hours long-ish,
Yeah,
5 to 7.
I think is where we spent more time looking at this stuff.
Yeah.
We probably would not get up that 7 because it's just like, oh man, Apple.
Now,
Yeah.
would you, if there was another mode that was basically just looking simulator, if that was a DLC, sightseeing mode?
I don't know that I would pay money for a DLC that lets me look at things. Maybe a DLC that gives Galahad god powers and he can change the lighting conditions of the room or
Yeah.
something. Or like, now this apple is metallic. Which you could do with that engine, with that way it's doing that. And that would be fucking neat. Just be like, Galahad now touches things and they turn into metal.
Galahad is Midas.
Yeah.
I mean, as weird as some of the guns get, you'd think they would go on that crazy with them.
Yeah. Which we haven't beaten it.
Right, but
I doubt
I feel
it, yeah.
I feel like we probably won't be seeing anymore.
Probably not.
I feel like we were really at the end of the game.
I don't know, and you were saying the writing's not that great.
No.
With some of that, we're not so different, you and I.
Yeah.
It just rolls out the
It's
tongue.
incredible writing and the way humans
Really
talk.
natural.
Yeah.
Really
I say that at least 3 times a day.
to myself.
I'm waiting for the werewolves to start saying that.
We're not so different.
Actually, right now we are really, really different.
Like, look, yeah, super different.
You might as well be a big rig telling me that.
On a scale of 1 to, oh shit.
I have more in common with the game Euro Truck Simulator than you right now. Because in that, there was a human. So yeah, the game mechanically is serviceable. I mean, it doesn't innovate a ton, but it doesn't feel bad. It actually feels really good.
Yeah, I feel like the shooting controls are pretty nice.
Yeah, like better than Uncharted's. Because I remember how Uncharted feels, and it doesn't feel that good.
You're looking a bit concerned. You're like, oh no.
Now the shooting itself, yeah, but the movement and traversal in Uncharted just blows it out of the water. Because you can actually, like, in the order, you can't even roll. Like, if you know you want to roll to get behind something, you can't, because you can only roll when button prompted to roll.
Yeah, your X button is a reactive action. So when you saw those werewolves charging at me, it popped up with an X.
Yeah.
And when I pushed that, I did a dodge roll.
But you can't do that otherwise.
But I can't do that normally. Yeah,
the game only lets you do things when it wants you to.
Kinda. I mean, you need to understand, after the last gen, I wouldn't go as far as to describe this game as that, because there were so many games that were way worse about that last gen. Where it's just like, oh no, you can't climb over like this thing that is the same thing you climbed over a moment ago. Like, that happened last gen. I remember it. And you can't move this box that you moved a second ago because it's a different one of those, and that would break this puzzle. Like, last gen was rife with bullshit like that, but yeah, no, mechanically the firefighting feels really, really good. As I was saying, I like it a lot more than Uncharted. I'm not sure how much more I like it than The Last of Us, because The Last of Us had better shooting than Uncharted.
It did.
Yeah, you don't have a jump button. So, of course, it's not having the traversal things that Uncharted does.
It's more of the Gears of War feel where you're bolted to the ground.
Yeah. It is going for that typical cover shooter thing.
Although I feel like Gears of War is more like your dudes were made of gravity and couldn't jump if they tried.
True.
If they all work together, they can kick the earth from beneath them. But maybe not jump.
Okay, I'm going to bring this up now because we're talking about the order.
Yeah.
Everybody's seen the lightning gun, right?
I'm
pretty sure.
I've seen it. You've seen it. Good enough.
People know Tesla's in the game.
Right. You got the lightning gun.
There's going to be some lightning thing.
The lightning gun tears up basically any enemy. It'll just one-shot them.
Yeah.
Even freaking Lycan.
Yeah, I saw that.
There's these guys that wear armor. They're just wearing knight's armor style armor.
I mean, it doesn't look exactly like Knights, but it is just straight up metal plating on like what appears to be normal clothing. Like they look half normal, half like, look, we like cobbled together this armor, quote quote.
And you tune it with, it takes 2 shots from the lightning gun. And I'm like, what?
If anything,
you're conductible. You should just explode.
You should be cooked in there.
You're conductible. So if I stick metal to you, you will come out the other end of that.
Yes.
You should be a tasty microwave dinner after one shot.
Yeah. You should look about as tasty and appealing as a Hot Pocket. Oh, God, Hot Pocket.
It really bugged me. I was like, why is that even?
And now my ranty slight side trail that connects to that. I had 2 coworkers defend Hot Pockets. I'm like, fuck you guys. I ate them for way too long being poor and shit. Those are not good. If you're going to say you can eat them, I will agree. You can put them in your mouth and you'll stop being hungry.
You can physically consume them and your body will turn them into energy. Correct.
Conceivably, you won't just shit blood afterwards. Probably, I guess.
On just most flavors.
Right.
Lean Pockets now.
Stop buying those, the low-calorie glass Hot Pockets.
Yeah. The fiberglass Hot Pockets are really bad. They're really bad for it. Kind of tough on your intestines. But yeah. I thought that was funny when you did that, and I was like, "Oh, video games! Of course,
he's got armor, so therefore,
so he's extra strong. Period. Full stop."
Right? It's like it's letting me just one shot anything else in the game, but not that guy. No, that guy.
I mean, because if it
that
let
would
you
break the balance,
his armor's super strong.
I mean, he's the close range armored dude.
This is the empowerment section of the game where I'm given the best weapon.
That he's supposed to challenge you.
Then don't have him wear metal armor.
Well, see, here's the thing. Then the alternative is to break the universe and have him come out wearing, like, some plastic alloy.
Ceramic armor or something.
Right?
Yeah, no, they could totally have done that, because, I mean, they know about these weirdo weapons we have.
They have enough cutscenes. There could have been one where it was like, oh, these guys are wearing, like, a metal armor that has a rubber layer. And then another metal layer.
They could have.
And even that would have saved Bob.
These guys are just in gimp suits. They're immune to our lightning gun.
Oh, no! What's he doing to the other guy's dick? Ah! Keep firing, Galahad!
These rebels are real weird.
There's a reason they're not allowed in the church. So yeah, the Order. Really fucking pretty. So pretty that I sort of surrender all critical faculties to go, look at how pretty this is. Good job, guys. Because, I mean... Like, here's the thing. In Jeff Gerstmann's review of it, he's like, I don't understand why the game has moments where I pick up things and look at them. And I'm like, then you missed the point.
Right, because the game looking simulator.
Yeah, the whole game is just, look, the PS4 can do this. Isn't that crazy?
If somehow they got this out at launch, that would have been insane.
Right.
Obviously, but that wasn't possible.
Absolutely no way that could have happened, yeah.
Right.
Because that fucking E3 trailer they showed does not look like this game. Now, that's not to say this game looks terrible. It's just that thing was blatant CG, and this is not. Like, there are parts of this where it's, like, clearly more, like, a game. I find the number one source of this looks like a game is Izzy's eyes.
Huh.
Something about the way they look just looks wrong. Everyone else's eyes and the way they look around looks great. Except for when there's a camera angle, because it cuts camera angles a lot to show characters as though it should be meaningful that you're now looking at this character at this moment in the dialogue. But then they do that for Galahad at one scene in the Order, like in the chamber they
order
commune in. They order in. Good job.
It's the Wendy's.
It's a Wendy's. So in any case, they're in the Wendy's, and a line comes up where it's supposed to cut to Galahad, and this line's supposed to mean something to him, but. They didn't.
Do you want fries with that?
They didn't code what his eyes were supposed to do, so it's doing that, I guess, procedural thing where it's eye filler movement. So he looks like an ADD bored child during this scene, and he's just looking around like this. And then it cuts away, and in the very next scene, the guy next to him's talking, and then he looks over there, and he has a meaningful look. So it was a really weird contrast to have those right next to each other.
Huh.
Aside from that, Nizzy eyes and like this weird aliasing I saw on the edge of a door, whatever. Really great looking game. Like, stupid good. Stupid fucking pretty. Like, retardedly pretty. I said the worst part, and I still believe this, the worst part of the order is the several games from Sony that'll come out after this that won't look as good.
Yeah.
It's just not fair.
Right.
At least Rise ran like shit, you know? So people could be like, this doesn't look as good as Rise, but at least it runs well. You know?
Right.
At least there was that for that. But yeah, I don't know. Plot's whatever.
Yeah, plot's
Combat's
pretty,
I still think mechanically the game
I feel
hasn't
like
put me off.
It needs more combat. Honestly, like there are way too many sections where you're walking around not doing things. If those sections were all just walk around, pick stuff up, and look at it sections, sure. But they're trying to be like platformers and
or some
stealth
sort of
games.
detectiving or like something.
Right, but they just the
Ghost Galahad needs to find the murderer.
no
Use your detective vision.
Yeah. Murdered the order suspect. There we go.
Asylum.
Oh.
City.
Really shit that up at the end. I'm just saying. In any case, yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. The game's really pretty, though.
It is really pretty.
It is the prettiest game ever made.
That's its job.
Yeah, that really is. I'm confident that was the whole point. I wonder what's going to happen to that studio now that no one is buying that game that took them 7 years to make.
Yeah, that can't be good.
No. Admittedly, though, you know, it's not like a lot of people get confused about like, what is this game that's 7 years in development? What's that like? A lot of it's pre-production, so it's not as expensive as you think it is. But I'm sure that game's expensive as hell, like as is. But yeah, hey Eric.
Yeah.
What have you been playing?
I've been playing still again Final Fantasy 14. Don't have much. I will have more to say on it next time because this Tuesday is when the next big patch drops, which introduces the Golden Saucer, which means triple triad and chocobo racing for days.
Now I'm not used to this. I'm just gonna clarify because I need. Now the Golden Chocobo isn't just more missions from the Queen that you do for legendary items that you break them and nothing comes from that, right?
No.
Okay. So that wasn't normal in Destiny for that to be patch content.
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking.
No.
You know? They could have just given you a differently colored slip of paper. Go do that mission again.
This is different colored Golden Saucer. Wait, was there a Golden Saucer before? It's just one of the other cities, man.
It's just a house. It's a golden house. You go in and you buy different items.
And inside there's a plate. Some might say it's a saucer and it's made of gold.
Cool. Does it have a button? You push it, it goes.
No. Well, that's paid DLC.
Oh, okay. There we go.
You don't get that till spring.
How astonishing is it that I still remember that music? I never really played Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, it's memorable music.
It is, yeah. And the coolest parts of that game were in there, like the motorcycle game.
Well,
because it was that sequence, but now it's a game.
Right.
So you could keep replaying it.
I wonder if that's going to... Because they said they're also going to have mini games to play.
Better have the motorcycle game.
I know there's some.
Better have the motorcycle.
I don't know, man.
It better have the motorcycle game.
Do motorcycles exist in that universe?
No. It might be like Magitech technology or something.
Or Sky motorcycles.
Because they do have like the Final Fantasy VI like Magitech armored mechs.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure somewhere was like, what if we just instead of feet, wheels? Someone's probably done that in that universe, but I don't think that's a mount.
But then everyone looked at it and went, "That isn't badass. That just seems effective."
I mean, one of the mounts is just you on like a platform being carried by bombs as they just ride through the air.
Oh yeah, that's really awesome.
Yeah,
that's really
it is
awesome.
really cool. But yeah, no, that looks really the chocobo racing doesn't look half-assed at all. It's like it looks pretty fully breeding, fleshed out, and everything.
So you're going to be on the ground floor of this golden saucer to give us all the hot tidbits.
The hot chocobo sex that's going to be happening.
Yeah. Come next podcast. Cool.
Pretty much. There's also going to be a weekly lottery because of this golden saucer, the sort of mascot is the cactar. The weekly drawing for the lottery is called the cactpot.
If you draw wrong, do you just get 1,000 needles in the face?
I hope so. But mainly it's being billed as like cool place for minigames, also triple triad, and just like a place to chill while you wait for like a matchmaking to do a dungeon or like just to chill or do something, whatever. There will even be like the dynamic events that happen in the world or will also happen in there, but like minigame style. Like, what was it? The developer was talking about one of the games was like, there'll be a shit ton of people in like this area, and you have to figure out which one's like the doppelganger by like their facial features are slightly different. It's just like a fun thing to do, and you get like little points in like the golden saucer points as reward.
That's cool. That sounds really awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe I should come over and we should live stream.
Yeah. Or guess what? You know, in that free demo, you can get the golden saucer in it.
Did you even need to level up to go in there?
You have to be level 15, I think, to do to get your first chocobo for racing, and that you may have to do that as a requirement to get in there. But honestly, getting to level 15, that's nothing. It does not take any time at all. MMO wise, yeah. I should clarify.
I was like, I'm pretty sure I played for a few hours. I wasn't near level 15.
So hey, Eric.
Yeah.
Have you been playing anything else?
I have. I bought Hand of Fate.
Oh, you played.
yeah?
I saw you streaming that.
Yeah.
You were live streaming that.
I
It looked
streamed
cool from what I saw in the live stream. What is that game, though?
It is pretty interesting. It is a roguelike. And there you go. It's actually a very interesting...
gaming. See ya.
It's actually an interesting take on the roguelike because basically, instead of a procedurally generated dungeon, the dungeon is cards, a deck of cards, and each card is not just a combat encounter or monsters, but it'll be like a situation. Like you encounter this woman, she asks for food. What do? Do you give her some of your food? How much food do you give her? You say fuck off and leave me alone, and you get different like rewards and situations depending on what you do. She may be going, thank you, here I'll reveal all the rest of the cards on the table to show you like where else you'll go if you give her a lot of food, or she may give you like a shield or something. Or if you get into like the mystic crazy demon town where you get lost in, you like successfully to approximate like a dice roll, if whether or not you succeed or fail, it'll draw 4 cards, and depending on the situation, typically it'll be like 2 success cards and 2 failure cards. If it's just an even chance to win or lose, it'll shuffle them and you pick one at random. Sometimes if it's a really bad situation, you'll have one, maybe 2 success cards, then a failure, and then a great failure card. And
Your legs explode off.
Yeah, pretty much. And then, or if it's advantageous, it'll be like success, great success sort of thing. And that affects what equipment you'll find, what boons you get, and as you fight more enemy encounters, you'll get gold and stuff like that. As you complete encounters of that like role playing nature, the dealer will give you tokens that after you beat that stage will unlock new cards, new encounters, and new equipment that you can put into your deck.
Okay.
And it just kind of goes from there. And you fight successively stronger stuff, and he gets more and more like, all right, I'm done fucking around. Like past like the first couple of bosses, it's like he's just like, I'm introducing you to the game. So and now we're playing for real, son.
So what is the goal of this game?
There's not a lot told to you at the beginning. You just the dealer, you come to this
starts.
magic man, and he's like, you have come to like the 12th gate at the end of the world, and we're playing a game for stuff. Like, so you don't really know.
Like what? Looks around. This thing.
And you start off almost completely in darkness at the table, but then as you beat more monsters, the light comes up around, and you notice you're in like a big hall with like pillars everywhere. I've got to the point where like apparently I'm fighting to get his staff now. Like I didn't know I was doing that. Yes,
I want that. I guess.
Yeah, it's magic.
I mean, it's his. He seems like he has his shit together. I want to see. Maybe that comes from the staff. You don't know.
And so what's the gameplay like? Actually, when you go.
Okay, when you actually fight, it's basically
kind of a low-level
Arkham,
action game.
Low-level Arkham kind of
game
fighting
sort of thing. So you're running around and punching and hitting.
You're rolling around, punching things. You're countering people. You're reflecting. If you have a shield, you can press a button and reflect arrows or magic back at people. But it's a lot of like, there's an exclamation mark over that guy's head. Do the counter button, and you can counter them and so on. So
This was a Kickstarter game, right?
yeah, it was.
It seems like they managed their budget pretty well, because there's no way they got enough money to parallel how good that game looks. Like, they did a good job managing.
And sometimes it's not even a combat encounter. Like, I encountered a couple times, like a trap dungeon where you just got to navigate like spikes in the floor and rotating flame pillars and stuff like that.
Huh.
Yeah, it's honestly, atmosphere-wise, a really, really cool game. Like, just tuning into the stream, I thought it was really neat and different from what you generally get with video games, because it's just this weird conversation between you and this dude in the middle of blackness.
I love the very first thing I did when I played. I was like, let's see how this game goes. It's like you're at the top of this gorge.
I guess we haven't even. It's 3D.
It's
just so we're clear.
Okay.
It's a 3D
It is a
game.
gorgeous 3D game,
Yeah,
at least
sorry.
for a budget indie title.
It's $20 on
Yeah.
PSN right now.
Yeah, so I guess that helps them get budget.
It was the first encounter card I drew. The very first time I played it, you're at the top of this gorge. Then you down there, you see like a skeleton with maybe a weapon on him. What do you do? And like, I'm gonna climb down and get that weapon. All right, and does like the little like chance to succeed, and it was like one out of 4 chance to fail. I was like, all right, I'm totally gonna. I failed immediately. Like I fall down, like broke my leg. I lost some health, but I still was able to get that weapon. So like, all right, fine. Damn it.
But yeah, that seems like a cool game. Maybe we should do a quick play for the site sometime soon.
Okay.
Because you seem like you put a decent bit of time into it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay, cool. So maybe we'll do that. Have you been playing anything else, Eric?
No.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, Dan.
Did you play games?
I guess the only thing we haven't really talked about that much is my solo play of Dead or Alive.
Yeah, I was going to say, you haven't really spoken about your experience playing that.
Yeah.
So
On a
what's that
scale of
like?
1 to boobs.
Boobs.
Yes, definitely.
How boobs?
So yeah, first time I played Dead or Alive 5, I didn't notice. I'm not sure if it had a lot of these
Before-
modes. What's
In
up?
the original
What is
version
your
of
like history with how much Dead or Alive have you played? Because Dan intimated that you are like a long.
Yeah,
history
I
of
started
it.
on Dead or Alive 2.
Okay.
I played
Yeah.
that a lot with Stan.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would, yeah.
Then I didn't play 3.
See, Steve had a PS2, right? And Dead or Alive was really cool and different to a guy who never played 1. I saw 1 after 2 and cringed. Because,
Yeah.
oh god, that game. It's bad. If you think the boob is unrealistic now,
No, I get that.
it was like, and then it goes forever.
Yeah.
It was like executive ball clicker, quote,
Yeah.
quote. But turn it on its side and
click.
somehow it works, and it just, their boobs keep going up and down as though there's
Found
no
the
loss of-
perpetual motion machine.
Yeah, tits. But yeah, so Bob and I played a ton of DOA 2 Hardcore, as it was called on the PS2 back in the day. And then it came out on the Xbox, and we were both a little salty about that. And then we got Xboxes, but then we never got it.
Yeah.
'Cause-
I don't think I've ever played
Wasn't
that
the one on the
version.
Xbox with like the female Master Chief? Or
No,
something?
that
that
was
was
actually
360.
4. Dead
yeah?
or Alive 4, a launch title, Dead or Alive for the 360, that looked pretty much identical to Dead or Alive 3 visually. So it was not as impressive as it should have been, which
Yeah,
was
they
half
had
of
some
why
flaws
it wasn't
physics
cool.
and stuff, and it looked. Those were neat. I mean,
Yeah, but they were glitchy too.
They were.
Like, even for that time, they were just really kind of shitty looking. A lot of what they tried with that one looked really shitty.
Well, yeah, launch title does that.
Yeah. But then they never brought it to anything or made a sequel for a really long time. It
Yeah,
took
'cause
7 years.
Itagaki
7 years.
Apparently, like, that was his magnum opus. That's the height of what the series could possibly be.
Just so we're clear, that guy, that fucking dick, when they come out with the most recent one, he's like, it peaked at 4. 4 is perfect. The storyline was ended perfectly in 4. And me and Bob are like, those ending cutscenes were just insane garbage that didn't amount to anything.
With 4, the whole thing was every ending was like animated by some other studio.
Yeah,
And they
like
were
12
weird
different
artwork.
studios. Like various levels of CG quality.
Right?
This one was done in crayon.
I don't think so.
I feel like maybe.
And yeah, they were completely illogical and didn't do anything to produce or develop the story. Like, one of them was seriously, one of the characters is riding a train. The train stops suddenly, and an old man actually grabs her chest, and she kicks him. That's the whole ending.
Incredible.
Yeah. Incredible. Did you actually play any of the Extreme Beach volleyball games?
We played them at
Yeah. Don't
At
say
somebody's
don't
house.
don't. No, okay, yeah, at somebody's house. We played it at
Play
somebody's.
them in a home.
That's all you're getting out of us, okay? It wasn't like it was an anime club meeting or something.
Okay.
Because it was just somebody's house. Good. Right. So we played one of those there, and it was like, this is just as garbage as I assumed.
But everyone kept saying it was okay.
Yeah.
And while
Because the people at the house were weird, and there was no theme or reason to it.
while crossing their legs and putting pillows surreptitiously on their crotches.
A couple.
Yeah. Okay.
So, in any case.
So, Bob,
and
you
then
were saying that
Dead or Alive 5 came out in 2012.
Right. Somewhere around. Yeah,
Yeah,
God,
pretty
it's
sure
been
that
a long
was
time.
2012. And yeah, you picked that one up, and some of the what were your opinions on that?
I thought it was okay. They definitely like improved a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I feel like it was the first improvement since 2.
Yeah, like they actually made the countering harder to do, and
Not as spammy.
yeah, not as spammy, and yeah, it was okay. The story mode was awful. Like it was a big tutorial, but it wasn't as bad as Dead or Alive 4 stories.
See, he says this, but from what I remember from the story, it was incredible because it just cuts to a bar, and of course Tina and her dad are just sitting in the bar drunk, just cursing at the TV. Because wrestling's on.
Okay. It sounded fine so far.
Yes, it had its moments.
Right? There's just a bunch of shit like that. I'm not sure. Have you ever played Dead or Alive?
No.
Okay, so there's this black dude in it. What's his name? Zach?
Zach, yeah.
Zach is full of some Kanye West scale black love, black self-love. He's incredible in that game because somebody finishes his fight and they're like, was that good? And he's like, almost as good as me or some shit like that. And I'm like, God, I love you, you piece of shit.
And then he yells, bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, one of his victory poses, he goes, and he like throws up his arms like Ginyu Force style to the upper right. And you think he's done just long enough, almost a whole second, and then goes bang, 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 while doing like karate chops in midair, and it just stops. And I'm like, this is great. I was telling my
So he gets
coworker,
his own game, right?
he should.
Extreme Beach Volleyball is technically his game. He shows the party that is Extreme Beach
It is
Volleyball.
on Zack Island.
Oh my god. Is it like Donkey Kong Country Island where it's just his giant face on the cliff face?
From an aerial view, it might be, actually. I don't know. Now we need to do some research. So, in any case, how's the last round treating you?
I really wish it were a bigger upgrade in terms of like I
Visual,
didn't I really didn't expect the visual to be increased because I just don't expect
Because
that.
you saw a YouTube video and you went, that's the same.
Yes, and yes, it is the same. This is just a good package that gets you a lot of the DLC, gets you all the new characters they've released that didn't get put on without buying extra stuff.
Yeah.
Because I skipped Ultimate because they did the Ultimate release, but then they kept releasing characters.
Yeah, which is not cool.
Yeah.
Real quick. There are like 39 costumes for some of those people.
Yes.
Is there a thing, because this is the only time I've ever justified it, because a lot of those are locked behind things.
Yes.
Can I spend money to just unlock them all?
About half of them look like they're ones that are DLC that you'd actually have to buy.
Okay.
Good luck finding it. I was just browsing, like, what did we release this week on the store? And roughly 90% of the things were just costume packs. I was like, shit. Jesus.
Yeah, they released because they had to catch up to the previous versions.
Yeah. So is there like a Grandmaster pack where you just get all of it?
Called the Closet or something.
They seem to not do that because they're constantly releasing more, but they do it so you can buy an entire set. Like here's the Halloween set.
Now,
And
Bob,
that's for all the characters.
you were showing me some stuff on Twitter before this came out where they were doing like costume contests for fans design?
Yeah, that's what the Halloween contests are composed of. It's actually all from those fan design ones from the internet.
So that's pretty neat that you got to keep up with that and that you're seeing it in the game now. How many of them look terrible? You wouldn't know?
They actually don't have those unlocked. It's really annoying. Those are ones that are fully behind paid DLC, so I haven't really even looked at them.
Wow, okay.
I noticed a few of them are pretty darn accurate to those sketches.
Now, last comic I'm going to get out before we just go straight to what your thoughts are on the game as a whole, continuing that. Because there's so many costumes, Dead or Alive 5 had this really cool feature me and Bob liked, where when you select your level and you select random, it'll keep selecting different levels. But if you select your outfit and you select random, it also selects different outfits. And with the absolutely absurd amount of costumes you could have in this, I'm actually legitimately, like, I'm more interested in that aspect of the game than the game.
It is really neat to see that.
Not because I like the costumes or I'm like, boobs or anything fucking retarded like that.
Hey, you just call liking boobs retarded?
On the level that you spend a shitload of money on DLC and $60 on a game. It is 60, right?
No, it's 40.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah, no, this isn't the full price release, at least.
Hey, man.
Yeah, I know.
Put it past Japan.
Right.
Or Tecmo.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I was about to say those are fighting words.
Those are fighting words.
I
love boobs. Boobs are my life. Ass is hometown.
Apparently earlier they were talking about the chance of doing a Scream Beach Volleyball 3.
Okay, sure. If it looks like a next-gen game, then I'm pleased.
Right.
If it doesn't, then it's just even sadder.
Right.
It's like at that point, you know, if it looks like Dead or Alive 5 does, and it's like Extreme Beach Volleyball 3 and it comes out a year or 2 or 3 from now.
Yeah.
That would
That would
just
be sad.
that would be one of those things that shouldn't have escaped at Japan
Just
territory.
Extreme Beach Volleyball 3 on the Amiga. Just single pixels.
Impressive. You rasterized
Single
them boobs.
pixel boobs constantly moving.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool. You should buy all the DLC. Just a thought.
Didn't you just call that completely retarded?
I'm saying
So it's only dumb if you do it, but if someone else does it,
Bob already bought the game.
Okay.
So he's entered in the realm
he's
of dumb.
halfway there.
Yes. Because goddamn, when you shake the controllers, the boobs move.
I kind of wish that was able to be turned off because God, it looks so awful.
Can't turn it off. So if you even move slightly,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Admittedly,
really-
though, there are 3 different boob simulations that you can select from.
like a boob algorithms.
Yes, absolutely.
There's an option to turn it off, like completely, like no breast motion, is it? And yeah, I haven't tried that.
Yeah.
I feel like you do that, the game just goes blank and said, "What are you doing, you fucking idiot?"
Listen here, you white guilt dumbass son of a bitch. And I'm like, me? I just didn't want distractions.
I read something, I don't know if it's true, about like there's a hidden fist level of it where it's like OMG.
You can unlock different. Okay, I might play a game that has unlockable boob physics engines.
I feel like, yes, that's smart. I think that's really smart. I feel like the LR setting, as it's called, you know, standing for last round, which is the version of this game, is already so fucking ridiculous.
Right, but like if it went even farther, it would be DOA 1 territory, and that would be kind of funny.
It would. It would be funny to just have these things slinky style, because that's how bad DOA 1 was, and it keeps going.
Flop,
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 flop.
flop. No, more like ping pong, like pinball bumper sounds as it. Yeah. That would be pretty funny. Honestly, I never noticed in the fight. I just noticed when they do the victory animations and your person's like saying some heartwarming thing, like, I need to keep trying, otherwise, blah, blah, blah. And then
Or
flop,
bang, bang,
flop,
bang,
flop,
bang.
flop, flop, flop.
Do the pecs do the same thing?
I don't know. We didn't check.
We have not
It's been a
checked.
while since I played as Zach. This asshole, he's like, I've been playing for 3 days by myself training.
Yeah,
Here's
training.
Here's this Tengu bitch. Yeah, training. Weighted training. In any case, he he's like, here's this Tengu bitch, suck my dick. And I'm like, I don't remember how to play as Hitomi, apparently. Fuck.
So, Bob,
Yes.
how's it going? How's the game?
There's also a combo challenge mode in it, which that's something that's pretty typical of fighters nowadays of, hey, this is like a glitz of moves.
Challenge room.
This is a thing you could do. Try to do it.
Pull out
right.
these combo strings.
And it gives you good, like, feel for what this character can do. And,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that was in the original release, but it really helps it. Like, I feel like there are things to do. I wish that there were more trophies associated with it, because there's only one trophy, and that's for doing all of them with one character. And Jesus.
Yeah.
Doing all of them with any single character is insane.
How many are there?
Pretty
for
much
one
in
character?
any fighting game ever.
This one, there are actually a good bit of them. Oof. There's
you
over
completed
10.
any of them?
I haven't completed any. The closest I've got is 80%, 85% with the Tengu, because she's easier to use, honestly.
Right, because she has dumb, simple to operate, overpowered bullshit tornadoes.
Dan's not salty
Dan,
at all.
I hardly even use the tornadoes. The tornadoes aren't even.
It's great because the tornadoes are huge, and after Bob nails me with one and kills me, he's like, "You could have dodged it to the side," and I'm like, "How could I? Yeah, I could have, but it didn't."
That's on you, Dan. That's your fault.
Yeah, obviously. I'm such a fuck. When did they add holding back makes you block?
Because that's always been there.
I don't think that's the case. Because I know I wouldn't know. Knowing me, I wouldn't know that Square blocked in the original version of DOA 2 Hardcore if back blocked. Because I was like 13.
Right.
And I would have been like, okay, good, back blocks, we're done. But yeah, what else, Bob? Anything else in this version leaping out at you? Like anything to comment on, or?
They did have a full tutorial mode as well, so more of that stuff of, hey, learn how to do it. Then on Twitter today, I read from them a warning not to play that tutorial mode, like a certain mission, in Spanish and a few other languages, because that will cause it to crash and delete your save. Yeah, they're putting out a lot of these warnings on Twitter of, oh man, this isn't going right. It's like, Jesus,
that's a very sad thing for a long fighting game franchise.
Yeah, when it's just the port up and they have that many errors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buh.
Yeah, buh. Buh is correct. Have you been playing anything else, though, Bob?
Not really. I mean, we covered the Order already.
Any other comments you want to give on the Order?
I think it's hilarious how quickly you die.
Yes. That's incredible.
Yeah.
The first time I saw Bob die, because Bob was playing it when I came in the room.
Not that you you got shot once and you die, but the dying animation is like a second and it's blacked out.
So the first time I see Bob die, there's just this shotgun dude who's like coming after him, and he shot him like from down the hallway, and Bob drops to the ground, and you have to like try to get away while you're on the ground, and then eventually after like a couple seconds you'll be able to drink your elixir and recover. Bob's like trying to crawl away, and that guy just barely comes around the door corner, like the fucking door hole, and he just shoots him, and it cuts to black, and I'm like,
yeah,
that's great.
Normally there's like a big long like, ooh.
And I told Bob, when I saw that, I was like, I'm waiting for the video game where you get into that down state and your person screams for their life.
Yeah.
They're just like, no! God, what? And then poof. Because that's haunting.
That is haunting.
That would make for a great horror game.
Just when you were playing around, you were playing the Order football quarterback edition.
Eric got to see me playing a cover shooter. It was fun.
Instead of running for cover, he runs at people. 5
people in this large fucking dining hall or whatever. I headshot the first 4. The 5th one I shoot 3 times and miss. And I'm like, no, fuck this. And I just charge at him. The guy's shooting me.
He just starts running. Dan starts barking. Bullets are grazing past him, and he beats him to death.
Yep.
Yeah, the melees in that are really brutal.
But, yes, and there are a lot.
Yeah, there are a lot, like, really context-sensitive ones. Like, if you're a wall, you shove it into that and, like...
bash their head. Yeah. Oh, God. But some of them, you're behind the guy, and he's trying to get away, and then you kick him down and slam his head into the ground twice. Once, thud. He clearly loses control of his faculties. Second time, harder. Obviously, really fucking dead. And I was like, because when it looks that realistic.
Yeah, but it's hard to hard to say exactly how you died that one time. But you basically went into a ballet pose when you were shot. You're like, no, and it faded out. Ole, pretty much. You went ole and then fade to black.
Yep. And then in the Milky Way universe, a fabulous man died. Okay, so that's gonna do it for what games we've been playing recently. Coming up next, we're gonna do the news. So stick around. Welcome to the news segment. Hey, who likes nudes?
I love them. They're in the Order.
Yes, they. Yeah, wasn't that weird?
Just naked. We just went in a brothel. for a
Right.
splendid bargain, and
Is that where you guys stopped?
just naked
Yeah.
tits.
Okay, yeah. You were just short of the naked man.
That's cool. I'm okay with
Do
that.
we see full on Shaft?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, why is this even here? Okay, whatever.
Pushing
man.
them boundaries.
If them's tits, we get Shaft. That's how the equation works.
It's true.
I guess.
Because
It's
the
only-
censor board's like, what dicks and no tits? Boo, adults only.
For me, Bob, goddammit. Shut up.
Here's hyper-realistic dogs.
She's like, I need this. The shader on that dick is incredible.
Puts up monocle.
Puts a monocle on one ball.
Has a mustache.
Has a mustache.
It too is named Galahad. So
If for no reason Galahad just took his pants off, that would be just like,
He's
okay, wow, what?
like the naked guy's like, what do you think? And he's like, what do you think?
No, they're at the orders circle, like round table meeting. It's like, I have a one of our order wishes to speak. Zip. Flop.
Galahad, it's been so long since we've seen you. So Sonic Runners is
Does
now,
not involve full 3D tits or
it is
dicks.
now official, and they're showing it, and it is a
Mobile
2D
game.
Infinite Runner for mobile, and it is clearly like an Infinite Runner Sonic Heroes, where you have all three, and you switch which one is doing what to fly as Tails or dash as Knuckles.
With
and
sweet
it's-
microtransactions. And
It is
lot.
it is the exact worst thing possible. And it's even made so more so apparent because Eric was affected by this by the fact that Sonic's voice is still in it. So
Yeah.
that way you finish running, it's like, you set a new Sonic record!
like even in the Japanese trailer for it,
Uh-huh.
it's complete like Japanese dude doing, talking in Japanese, and then he's like, "Is Sonic," and then Sonic's voice cuts in pure English, and then cuts back to Japanese guy. Like, what,
Yep.
what?
They just need that
Roll
voice.
that back a bit.
It's just weird how like Sonic makes the most sense to be in an Infinite Runner, but it's also just super depressing.
Yeah.
Which is like,
and,
really,
and
God.
really, to be fair, this is the second.
Oh yeah, you're
The first
right.
one was 3D.
Are you sure this isn't the third?
I mean, it might be.
Oh no.
Because I'm pretty sure that there was one real bad one, then one almost okay one, and now there's this one.
Yeah, the almost okay one ran like garbage on my Galaxy S4. Like hot fucking garbage. Let's move on. Phantom Dust Studio, the people who were making Phantom Dust. New
The
one.
remake, yeah.
Yeah.
Were they really calling it a remake?
A reboot. I don't know what they were calling
yeah,
it.
I was like, there's no way they're like, it's gonna be the same.
Because
A
we
reimagining.
want to fail again.
Dark Side Game Studios is the name of it. They closed, but allegedly, according to Microsoft, the game is still in the works.
Okay.
So the director's not working on it anymore. Who was the director from the original
Oh,
game?
yeah? Because
Yeah.
apparently that was some studio in Florida.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
As I heard, the original dude was involved, but
Maybe he was
that dude,
in
that
some-
studio's
over
in
the phone.
Dude, I want to drive to that place. Where in Florida?
I
bet it's
Sunside, I think. It's Sun.
How?
Yeah.
I've never been there. I've just driven past it on
But it's-
vacations.
Yeah, they are full closed now.
No, I'm gonna
Yeah.
hunt the people down. It's
Okay.
just not.
This is just,
I'll find them in their homes.
I'll be like, what was the game? Oh, it was shit. They gave us the original game to work with as a design document. We made it flawlessly, and then they canned us.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
we gave them what they wanted. They went, fuck.
I read some articles. Apparently, Kotaku was contacted, anonymously by some of the employees. They were like, "Yeah, we kept showing it to higher ups, and they were all like, yeah, this is great." And then one day, higher up than them came down and said, "You're closed."
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool. Great. So I hope the people who,
Yeah, it's
made
just-
the order are fine.
Right.
Because I hate that. I hate that story of just like working on game and then studio shut down immediately. Ba-doop boop. Yeah. Well, let's be fair. Oh, good. I get to say it here because it's not in something people are paying for, so no one can do something legal.
What's up?
That studio is probably staffed by Full Sail rejects, so whatever.
Wow.
Okay. It is in
I
Florida.
hate Full Sail. They're terrible fucking hate machine, and I've never known anybody who went there and got it. Wait, no, I know of one person out of everyone I've ever known through friends of friends and friends to go to that fucking college for a game development degree. Only one person I know got in the industry. For all I know, he was dead.
Right.
Well,
Fuck Full Sail. In any case. At least they're not Westwood College pulling a DMCA on our fucking video to take it down. Shitlords. The joke's on you guys. That video wasn't even good. You're covering up our trail for us. So Darksiders 2. It's coming to PS4. The publisher owns the rights to that series now. Nordic Games confirmed this.
we have a lot of really interesting news this week.
I like this in that at least it's gonna gauge whether or not another Darksiders comes out. I hate how that's a thing now. Like, the game industry got to a bad spot when we need to re-release something to figure out if people care.
Yeah, that's really annoying. It's like, you know, the people, you'd probably get a lot more people to care if it were something new and not something they've
Right.
already bought.
Right. Kind of like they did, Square did with Chrono Trigger.
Right, and then
All the
now
time.
Capcom's releasing 2 Devil May Cry's that are re-releases.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
Video games are great in 2015. I really like the indie scene.
Yeah, there's
I
that.
just hate AAA because it's boring and shitty. I mean, how long did we see The Order before it came out? And they kept showing us, like, here are these other parts. And it's only that long. So it's like, oh, I'm now at this E3 moment. Oh, I'm now at this PlayStation meeting moment.
Yeah, we definitely saw a bit much of that game.
Yeah, fuck. Okay, in any case, I hope that game runs better. I hope it's like 60.
Yeah, it'd
That
be
would
great
be
if
really
that,
great.
I hope that maybe I'm the only one who had a problem with this. There was one part of the game where he goes to this area, and it has a very strange color palette, and it literally made my eyes hurt looking at it.
Yeah, I remember that. I didn't have that problem. And I'm the guy who can't look at striped shirts.
Huh.
I guess I never talked about that before.
I feel like you have, but maybe
somebody
not on a
with
podcast.
horizontal black and white stripes. My eyes freak out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I see colors that aren't there.
Are they then able to punch you because you can't focus on where their hand is?
I've never tried.
Did you try crouching?
No. Bob,
What's up?
get your Rurouni Kenshin references out of our podcast.
Oh, is that
No.
what it is? I thought I was making. Okay.
Yeah, no, he had sleeves that were striped, and he was like, because you can't tell how long my arm is, you can't tell where's the sword.
When I'm
Yeah.
gonna hit. Wow.
Yeah, it was smart.
Smart. That's a word you could use. Probably not the right one.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I wish I knew what was up with that and my eyes. If anyone listening to this has any idea why a person's eyes, because clearly, let's be frank, clearly other people's eyes are not treating that the same as mine, or no one would ever wear shirts like that.
Or every time we looked into someone's shirt, we went into some sort of nightmare dimension, like you do, evidently.
Right. With weird fucking colors. I don't fucking shit. In any case, hey,
I kind of don't want to talk about this.
This
It
is
just-
definitely
that's
the
why
saddest
we
news
gotta
story.
talk about it.
sad.
It's not the sad, it's the one after. It's the saddest. But in any case, so a Japanese mobile phone company called
Sorry, that one
NetPro
after this,
Japan.
those IPs have it coming.
Okay, in any case, NetPro Japan acquired TriAce. And
TriAce was bought by a mobile phone company that they're looking to start going into
mobile games. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just have another subsidiary which has the worst name in the world. It was like Mobile Phone Game
It's like
Company.
game/company.
Yeah, Daybreak Game Company or something. And
TriAce, the
yeah,
makers of great things like Star Ocean and Valkyrie Profile.
Yeah.
And not so great things like Lightning Returns.
Star Ocean 4 and Valkyrie Profile 2.
Yeah, okay.
At least Valkyrie Profile 2 was amazing for its time.
Yeah,
They were really at the
looked
top of their
great.
game at the end of PS2.
Yeah, Radiata stories? Jesus.
Yeah. Have you ever played Radio Stories?
I saw someone play it. It looked really good.
It's incredible.
Really pretty.
Like, it is that type of RPG where it's, like, impressive in the way you thought Next Gen was going to be. You know, it was like, oh my god, they have all this stuff in it. It's like, oh my god. And then you get to Next Gen, it's like, oh, this is the opposite of that.
They can't do all that anymore. Oh, multiple...
Wasn't TriAce working on a Phantasy Star Online card game thing?
What was Tricrescendo was somebody was making that Phantasy Star Vita game.
Oh right, yeah. I guess they finished making that.
Yeah.
And that was Tri-Ace.
So, and then after that, they just get bought by a mobile phone
That's
company.
so sad.
I mean, it's sad to us. To the people running Tri-Ace, they're probably relieved. Because, what was it? They were doing those interviews with those Japanese developers, and they were like, we would love to just always work on mobile.
Well, I mean, that was guys that were like longtime veterans and just tired of it.
Super burnt out, yeah.
I think anyone left at Tri-Ace should probably fall into that. I mean, their last few they made Lightning Returns.
Right.
And parts of 13.2, if I remember correctly.
Yes, they worked on parts of that, and I don't know how much of Lightning Returns, probably most of it.
I mean, I'm sad in general, but I can't be too sad now because basically I want more Star Ocean games from them, but
and that's
basically what the Tales games are.
I mean, I think that they went a very different way.
Yeah, they went different, but it's still like the same general idea of party development and
I don't know
in-town stuff.
Like I haven't played Tales enough, but does Tales allow you to level up chef skill and stuff like that? Does it have 2 giant pages of...
Yeah, there's not that.
Okay, and then the art style and the tone is fucking shit in comparison to Star Ocean.
Yeah, it doesn't have the sci-fi.
Yeah.
I'm still mad. I just can't get... I'm super mad.
I can.
Okay.
I'm kind of like, who owns the IP now? I'm sure they still do, so they're still just sitting there.
Well, it was Enix, wasn't it? So...
On Star Ocean? Yeah, I think... Wait, I think that's right. I think they published it.
But I don't know who owns the rights there.
Probably the publisher. That's how. That's
yeah.
always worked. Which is why every time that isn't the case, you're amazed,
right?
And then ironically, a publisher doesn't want to work with you with making a game because they don't own the IP. That's a thing. Because of course, it doesn't really benefit them that well that the game's good.
Because they
Yeah. Why do you think Fuse turned out like a turd?
Yeah.
In any case. That's sad. But real quick, I got something else I want to talk about.
What's that?
Bob and I were talking about Final Fantasy 15.
Okay.
Now, Bob, I noticed you didn't stick that news in here, but you had some things to talk about with Final Fantasy 15. He's trying to convince me. He's like, this all sounds great. Like, look at this and listen to this. Here are these cool things, and they showed it off in a long, unedited gameplay demo. And I'm like, that's cool. That game, I don't want to care until it's out because it's going to be shit. And he's like, well, like, no, it's not going to have any of the problems that 13 is. And I'm like, no, it's going to have completely different problems. We couldn't possibly anticipate. And he's like, no, there aren't things
whole new exciting problems.
He's like, there aren't things that aren't broken in 13 to be broken in this game. And it took me like 5-10 minutes, and then I go, microtransactions. And he just looked at me like, no.
They wouldn't be that stupid. I want to believe that.
Me too. That would just help me sleep.
I mean, all the DLC they did for 13.2 was costumes, I guess.
And the ending.
No, because that wasn't really the ending.
Oh.
13.2 was a mess. Because they didn't want to end it. They wanted to lead into a sequel for no reason.
Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. I still believe that, like, given Japan, given crazy publishers, very possible. I mean, look at Dead Space 3. Nobody could have projected that. Those was just covered in microtransactions. Why would they do that as a single-player game? Also, it's co-op. What? Like, you can never protect these assholes. They're just like, we need to make it in the most mainstream thing ever! Dead Space is now a horror movie parody game where you team up with 3 other players and you buy hats made by the community! That would have been funny.
Ow.
The actual game that came out was not.
Yes.
I want to buy hats for Isaac. He looks like he needs
a hat.
something.
He could use a hat.
He could use a hat.
But yeah.
That way he could express what he said by taking it off and covering his chest. Like, oh, my wife's still dead.
Oh.
And I have dementia.
But Final Fantasy 15, they did a 40-minute gameplay out from the demo, which is strange. Because apparently they talked all about the demo. Like, that's going to be apparently 3 hours long. And have lots of side quest stuff you can do afterwards, too. So there's even more gameplay to it. Like, there's apparently some quest of finding phantom swords, and that those Phantom Swords give you some abilities.
When does Type 0 come out?
Type 0 comes out March 17th or 24th. I can't remember.
Fuck, that's too soon.
Poster says I can't read it from here.
I'm going to pick up the poster.
Okay.
You keep talking about 15th.
But yeah, they got
17th.
17th.
March?
March, yeah.
Yep. We got a giant poster here.
We sure do.
That sound is how you know. Either that or I've got a baking sheet and a lying problem.
But apparently,
I'm so cool! Here's my Master Chief outfit. I take coconuts and knit them together.
he's a horsey.
He's a horsey.
But
You okay?
No. No,
Only jokes aren't funny to you.
okay.
Oh no, bees! That's the sound of bees.
Apparently, the demo is about their car breaks down, so they
remove the car element for the demo. It's almost like they aren't even showing us the game.
Yeah, they don't want us to have the car. They don't.
Why do I even stop talking, Bob? I don't care anymore.
So you need to get your car repaired, and you're getting stuff
shut
like
up.
that.
wait, are there still handsome men?
Yes.
Okay, I'm interested again.
But is there delicious food?
There is
Okay. In the demo?
in the demo.
Good. So
Apparently-
it's still a dumb anime. That's good.
But one thing I was excited to see. This is gonna sound really dumb, but there is just straight up jumping and traversal elements.
You are dumb. It's right. Okay, good.
But yeah, you can climb things and jump, or like they just show a jump button working. I hadn't seen that yet, and you can climb over rails.
Could you just straight up jump in a Final Fantasy game before now?
Final Fantasy Lightning Returns.
Mystic Quest!
Not counting because I could jump in 14, but I can. Well, I guess not counting any Dragoon skill that is literally jump. But
Yes, and you also have the Dragoon skill jump, which
What?
is amazing.
what?
Why are we not counting Mystic Quest?
Why are we not counting Mystic Quest? Let's just break
Let
this
us count
down.
the ways.
Now, I saw a thing earlier today, and I'm hoping it is a lie.
What's
A
that?
deep, bitter lie. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest HD.
Oh God, let's keep hoping.
Yeah. I'm going to put that in a Twitter lie bucket. Just leave it over there with Rayman and Smash Bros.
Yeah, which that was a thing. That was fun this week.
Sure. Fun. Yes. So, Bob.
What's up?
So what do you do in that? What did they do in the demo? Just run around and jump on things, or?
I honestly didn't want to watch all of it.
Yeah,
'Cause
fair
I'm going to play that demo a lot. But they just fought some enemies from what I saw. They showed off the camping mechanic, which is you don't level up so you camp at night.
Huh.
Have they shown off the trophy list for the demo?
No, I don't think there's going to be trophies for the
What?
demo.
Why wouldn't there be trophies in the demo?
I mean, there might be.
I mean, that thing's going to be better than Type 0. As good as Type 0 is, I know how demos with games work.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Metal Gear
Yes.
Solid 2 and Zone of the Enders 1.
Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry and Resident Evil Code Veronica X.
Veronica X. That was really just beating a dead horse there.
It really was like we played it and we're like, man, this kind of sucks. Let's play that demo. Hours later, whoa! Best rental ever!
Man, I can't believe Code Veronica X. I'm sorry, but that was like...
It is mind-boggling.
It's like... They didn't progress at all from the PS1 entries. There was like, it's better graphics now. It's good enough.
Apparently what happened is Capcom felt guilty that the Saturn family didn't really get Resident Evils as much. I think it was like, if you count all the types of Resident Evil games, it was about 2 or 3 that ended up not on Saturn.
I thought that had Dreamcast. Is that...
No, I'm
Okay.
giving you a backstory. This is before then.
I see.
Both of which are before now.
Whoa!
None of these events extended to the future.
Are we sure?
Yes. So they felt bad for them. So they said, we're going to make a Resident Evil exclusive to your platform. And then at some level, somebody who in charge of the Resident Evil franchise was like, just make shit. Like,
Give them 0.
They'll love it. They'll love it.
I still haven't played Resident Evil 0.
I guess I haven't either.
I hear it's good.
It just
I
it
don't-
looks like another one of those. Just I'm Resident Evil 3.
No, because nothing can be as bad as Resident Evil 2. Code Veronica, though slightly, is better than Resident Evil 3.
Okay.
I didn't play Resident Evil 3 until like 2009, or at least if I did, I didn't remember.
Oh.
So I play it and I'm like, this is just garbage. Like, instead of directing it and starting it in an exciting way, you're in a building. Okay.
Yeah, it was...
Whatever. Fucking
It was
garbage.
super weird.
Super garbage is what it was. Super garbage!
Super garbage!
With the incredible ability to be a piece of shit, Tom starts his morning with a bowl of pot and Cheetos. It sounds like I'm ripping that off from something. No, that's not a pre-existing. But I want to watch that. So no, that would be a great animated thing. It's about this guy who's just a piece of shit, and that's a superpower.
A lot of people have that superpower, Dan.
It's true. It's very, very true.
It's very common.
Meanwhile, for me to have a slow day, such as sit on the couch for an extended period of time, the world has to be spinning. I had a very productive day of puking and looking at spinning things.
Enjoyable.
You know when when the world's spinning, you shouldn't look up. That is the worst.
Yeah, no.
That's how I knew it was spinning. It looked sort of almost normal-ish, like, my eyes won't stay steadily on a thing. Weird. And then I look up and I'm like, being sick.
And then you
Funny.
looked upon the face of God, and it was also spinning.
No, that was a black and white striped shirt.
Right.
So, Bob,
What's up?
anything else you want to talk about with this demo? You're in a forest, you're killing things. They're like Final Fantasy-esque monsters. And
Yeah,
you're
they are.
They're chilling in this forest, and you're a dickbag who's just like murdering these rhino things.
Right? It's like, what's up with that? But you have some
This
sort
is
of...
what you get for not being beautiful.
Your dodge mechanic, like they've shown it off for earlier, where you have a button you can hold where he kind of just dodges around enemy attacks. But apparently that uses up MP. So now they add this cool effect where you like shoot out energy whenever you dodge.
Huh.
And
I think it's really cool they got around, and I mentioned this before, the whole weapon thing by having it materialize in your hand as you go to strike.
yeah, that's a
That's
really
super
neat thing they've done. And showing off a lot of different weapons you can use in the demo. And yeah, I'm pretty excited for that demo.
Yeah.
That game probably won't be out for another year, 2 years maybe.
Yeah.
And they even talked about, we think we're about 60% done now. And it's like,
That's something.
Well, then that
That's-
sounds like it would be out by the end of next year.
yeah, maybe.
I mean, let's be honest, that game probably got started again 2 years ago.
Yeah.
What with how game development actually works. I'm still astonished that people are like, what is The Last Guardian anymore? Is it the same game? And it's like, no. No, that thing got rebooted. Guess what? It's not about AI anymore. You know why? Because it got canceled the first time because it was about AI.
Yeah.
So about Square Enix.
So Square Enix is doing a crowdfunding IP thing, and basically they're allowing people to come and pitch ideas for a game on Square Enix through their community, and then they're going to get the community to vote on it.
On certain IPs that
Yes.
sort of lapsed.
Yes, and those 3 IPs. It is limited to 3 at this point, but they're open to more in the future if this works well. Spoiler, it won't. So the 3 are Gex, Fear Effect,
Yeah.
and Anachronox, a thing we had to look up.
Which-
Anachronox is a horrifying looking
Made by
PC
Ion, published by Ion Storm?
made by Ion Storm, the people who made Daikatana.
Yeah, great.
Horrific looking PC
Oh god.
thing.
Look it up. The faces.
Yeah.
The whole human form.
The whole if it could even be called human at that point.
Yeah, that seems a bit generous.
Yes.
Those are the 3 things you can pitch game ideas to them for. So let's be clear. Like, you are coming to them with a new way to reinvent Gex, Fear Effect, or Anachronox. That sounds so good at an idea level that the community votes you up. Now I'm going to go ahead and say Anachronox isn't winning.
Yeah.
Nothing that is about that will win. Maybe Fear Effect and maybe Gex. Most likely Gex, because that has the most reach.
Right. I'm like,
But having a good idea for what a Gex game would be is so fucking hard. And I feel like the only idea that actually existed has already been taken by Jeff Gerstmann. Would you like to hear Jeff Gerstmann from the Giant Bomb's idea for a new Gex game?
Sure.
So the last Gex they made, he was channel surfing, and then he got inserted into the various genres of movies, like a Bond movie and a sci-fi movie.
right.
So it's that, but for all the shitty Final Fantasy plots, and there are just important moments from 7 happening, and Gex is just shitting it up. He's just weaving his way through all these Final Fantasies. That's the only good idea for Gex.
Yeah, even I'm sitting here like, I'm kind of a fan of old Gex games. None of those games deserve sequels.
I mean, it's not even at that level. Like okay, give them sequels, but there's no idea that's gonna stand out, because if it did stand out, it wouldn't be that game, and then that would piss off the people who want that game again.
Right? It's like, no, if you want to do a new Gex game, it'd just be a platformer. That's all that's like the core concept there.
Yeah.
And then wacky levels. And yeah, you can't really pitch that as something
off
new.
the wall humor.
I guess since it's an indie game, its development would be faster, so you could work in contemporary humor a lot better than you could in a AAA game nowadays.
Right.
So maybe if you were fucking brilliant and had a really good pitch, you could get that working. But still, I don't think the format they're allowing for you to submit these ideas in is going to allow you to really show off what your idea of the humor for Gex could be. Either way, I just really don't think this is a smart idea. And on top of all of that bullshit, right?
Right.
I love this. Here's the line from their PR. What would Gex look like in a side-scrolling adventure or a turn-based strategy?
Gex was in a side-scrolling adventure.
No, that was a side-scrolling platformer.
I'm sorry.
It's completely different. Completely different, eh? Dear Canadians, do you sound like that? We think you do.
Love GigaBoots.
There was okay. I get Canadians my source somewhat frequently.
Because we're a vacation locale.
Right.
Yeah,
there was like a whole family. I would never be able to tell. Then like their grandma was there, and she was that.
Sounded like that.
She
Yeah.
was that exactly. I was like, whoa.
I've had that happen too, where I thought they were fucking with me. Canadians were just like, "Oh yeah, I'm from Canadian, eh?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." And I was like so taken aback because I was positive he was fucking with me. But then
where's the camera?
It was such a long process, and I had to check his ID as a part of a thing. That guy was legit. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
Holding up for stereotypes everywhere.
Thank you. You make my impersonation dated but accurate.
You're doing God's work, sir.
So, okay, on top of the shitstorm that is the really tepid idea here, right?
Right.
They have the business side of things. On the business side, we'll still take 5% of the net crowd funds raised from the... Oh, right, I didn't even get to that. So when you win the community vote on the Square Enix site, you then get the right to go crowdfund the idea on Kickstarter, because fuck you. Your idea isn't even good enough for Square Enix's money.
God, that's...
So you gotta go crowdfund this idea after you got the blessing from the Square Enix community. And then these assholes are gonna take 5%. So that's more money out of the game development.
It sounds like they won't even run the crowdfund for you.
No.
So this is basically, here, you can use our IP. We'll sit back while you do all the work.
And on top of that, we're going to be the vampires. And we're going to be the leech fucking sucking the blood out of your ability to make this game. They're taking 5% of the crowd funds. They're going to distribute the game, so they're going to take 10% of that on the back end. And then they're going to charge a 10% license fee for the use of the IP.
Wow. The IP they would never use.
Now, this isn't how
But they're not using, ever.
And could never use again. Because really, Gex... Clock says party time doesn't really hold up as a joke in 2015. Barely did in the 90s. So in any case, doing shitty rudimentary math, they're asking you for 25% of various aspects, like front end and back end.
Right.
They're not helping with any of the money necessary to make it.
They don't even guarantee they'll publicize it.
Yeah. Like at all.
Oh, that means the developer will keep 80% of the net revenue from sales of the game. And who knows, maybe we'll be interested in licensing a sequel as well. It's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Says the PR.
What shitlords?
Right.
What shitlords? And it's like, yeah, we get 80% of the sales revenue. You're not even taking into account at this point. Like, that revenue has been impacted by Sony and Steam and Microsoft before that.
Right.
So, like, I want you to tell me how good of a deal this is with an example scenario. Here on this page, let's say I got $1 million, right? Now, before Kickstarter takes part of that $1 million, of which they take a pretty good chunk, you're going to take, $50,000. $50,000 just fucking gone right off the front end. Then you have to pay for the development and Kickstarter and all that shit.
And there's a good chance you don't even know how to make a video game.
Because you're just some asshole who had a good idea, which is not a necessary skill for being a good game developer. It certainly helps, But being able to make a good game is kind of more hinged on your ability, get this, to make a good game.
Yeah, this is insane.
It is. This is the craziest thing out of a Japanese company ever.
That's saying a lot.
Yeah, it is.
I have to wonder if the same guy running this is running their Square Enix's weird like cloud computing
Initiative.
And if he's just riding this horse down.
I worry, right, that, okay, so I know for a fact the cloud initiative is Japan's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that for a fact. But I feel like this is more of a thing where they looked at the Eidos IPs and they went, we really don't know what to do with these. The Americans can have it. They know better than us because they're Westerners. And then the Americans, of course, have no money to allot to game development, as seen in, hey, how long has it been since Deus Ex came out? So in any case, yeah, they just hand them these IPs and go, do something with it. And they're like, but we don't have any money.
Right?
This is terrible.
Yeah. I mean, their whole buying Eidos
thing is going pretty poorly.
Yeah, it's like you got a bunch of IPs you have no clue what to do with.
Didn't you say something about like Tomb Raider Pictures, the new one? Like the new AAA Tomb Raider showed up in Game Informer or something?
Those are in the new Game Informer. And they don't really look much better. They look a lot like the Tomb Raider
on the
Definitive Edition. The next gen version of that.
Okay, that's much better.
So much better.
So much better. I'm really glad that a Tomb Raider is coming out at the beginning of a console generation, that is trying to be Uncharted. So it's even more of a garbage tepid knockoff.
Yeah.
Because they don't know how to optimize for that platform in the least. At least compared to the long game. Or an exclusive developer, Naughty Dog, of course, or early on even knows how to optimize their game specifically for the PS3 because they don't have to worry about the 360 or the Xbox One. Meanwhile, like the last Tomb Raider came out so late, it was like, everyone knows kind of how you not fuck up these games on these things, so you can make a B-grade knockoff. Go right ahead.
Who knows? Maybe they'll expand on the elements that made it different from Uncharted and fun, like more exploring areas and
more horrible murder.
More of a big area to go around.
We call that visceral murder porn, thank you.
Okay, sorry.
I actually played that whole game through. It was like, I don't think I ever used like those awful murder kills.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because I used the bow the whole time, and that doesn't have her do those things.
Those insane.
I killed a deer. No, human being. Where was I?
Flesh.
I'll be going. Just the other dude.
All the bad guys just put down their guns and walk away
and swim into the ocean just to get away.
At the end of that one, she seemed pretty calm with being a horrible murderer. Mm. And now I guess in the trailers it looks like that's catching up to her, and that's annoying.
That's annoying as fuck.
Yeah,
good. It should. That's what.
No, she was ridiculously like hardened. Schwarzenegger style.
You need to understand,
sort of character.
The trailer shows her being like, "Oh, I've done horrible things. I don't know how to deal with horrible things." That was the entire first game. We don't need another game.
Okay, I mean, like from what I've seen, she's seen more murder in combat than most soldiers do.
Right.
And
which is fair.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, you break. And you don't go back. And I feel like in order to get out the back end of the first Tomb Raider on PS3, you would have to.
Okay.
Bob's like, not with the bow.
Hey. Clean conscience.
They died an ecologically friendly death.
No, they still died horribly.
I can recycle these arrows.
But,
yeah, you can recycle the arrows. And their bodies.
They didn't have their whole body decimated before they were shot in the head.
Yeah.
This is how fucked up the order is. A man was on fire and screaming and running at Bob, and I go, "Wow, the fire looks really good." That's the important part.
That's how fucked up you are.
No! If that game was less pretty.
Okay, it's its fault for making that fire look so good.
Yes. It was the best fire I've seen in a video game. I guess the podcast's over.
Okay, bye.
GigaBoots has been brought to you by the support of our producers Vincent Poverk and Cywolf via our Patreon. Consider becoming a GigaBoots patron today.